What's up, y'all?
Sometimes you need your ego. Gotta remind these fools who they effing with. But we got effers too.
Yeah. We got AIs too. Come on, Jay-Z. Speaking of, you know what? I want to talk. What's up, y'all? This is Erica. My name is Erica. If you are new here, I welcome you. Opening up the doors like Tyler Perry Studios. What's going on? Today is Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday when I woke up. I was telling my son, okay, he was trying to figure out his weekly reading. I was like, so you got to read. We on Wednesday. He was like, today is Tuesday, lady. I was like, oh, okay. So today is Tuesday. Welcome. Go ahead and like, comment. We get down in the comments and we talk. Y'all follow me. Y'all ride with me on the way to work. And we cuss a few people out. We talk about things that's going on, trending topics, different things, different topics. Anything really goes. We do a little righteous shit, a little ratchet shit. We talk about reality TV shows. We talk about, like I said, trending topics, things going on in the world, how it affects our community. And then we just get down and we talk. We're respectful. We don't come on here trying to, we're respectful to each other while we disagree with, if we disagree with whatever it is that we're disagreeing with. So that's a little bit about this channel and myself. And we talk today. I want to talk. What do y'all see? I don't really like to do too much of politics because I really think it's all like a puppet show, really. It's not really a lot that, I don't know. It just doesn't, it never, like I watch it like a form of entertainment. Honestly, I do. I've been watching the people commentary. It's like really a form of entertainment. These are characters in a story that's going to be told later. And, I just feel like nothing is being done. Like dude can do whatever he wants, right? He does whatever he wants. He's a white man in America. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And no one's doing anything about it. And the crazy part is how he was allowed, like the rules that were set up to make it possible for him to get in office, they were set up hundreds of years ago. So no one's going to make any changes to ensure it doesn't happen again. It's set up so that mediocrity can run this country, because this country, if it were to eliminate the systems of racism and patriarchy, it could be a real thriving, winning country, and get rid of all of the hate and all of the bullshit. That we could have a real thriving country. But you can't, in what I say when we call a capitalistic society, somebody has to be down, somebody has to be up. And that's really the reason why I wanted to talk about the Tyler Perry Studios, because I feel like there was a lot of critique about Tyler Perry Studios, and I'm trying to figure out, at what point do we want success for each other? Whether you're, wherever you are, whoever you are, you dark complected colored folks. At what point do we want each other to be successful? And at what point in that success do we now start to critique and call you a capitalist? And at what point do we are now upset because you have a lot of money and you're doing a lot of things? And at what point do you get to where you're now telling Tyler Perry he should not have done what he did with that studios? Like, I don't know. So y'all think about it, and I'll be right back. I'm going to put some gas in my car. And then we could, because I'm trying to figure out what the critique. I understand the critique. I get it. I mean, like, I understand critiquing. No one is above it, right? So now we're critiquing and trying to figure out, he could have done this with his money and he could have done that with his money. At what point do you want your people to be successful? And at what point do you start telling them what they need to do with their money? Like, what happens? Where does that happen? And then why do we look down at success that comes with, like, a lot of money that comes? This is the society that we live in. Now, you can separate yourself from the society But you got to be realistic at the same time and figure out a way to navigate in a healthy way. Telling Tyler Perry what to do with his money, and what I just don't understand, at what point does that happen? If somebody can articulate that, or if somebody has a theory, like at what point do we decide, okay, you're making too much money now, and now you need to be doing this with your money? Like, I don't get it. But anyways, because I want to read what somebody said about Tyler Perry and how really short-sighted it was, but it was an attempt to try to sound like you're holding a capitalist accountable. So I'll be right back. What is going on? I always trip out on white women who wear their hair, who are clearly white, you not biracial, and they wear their hair slick back, real slick, like they got pomade on it. Like hella slick, and then with like a little, like really trying to look like really do a little black hairstyle, but your hair is too thin. Let me shut up. That was so not nice. That was so not nice, Erica. Let me see. What were we talking about? Tyler Perry Studio. So yeah, so while and then for y'all, I have my seatbelt on. As you can see, I just put my seatbelt on. There's a lot of people who are, concerned about my safety. I have my seatbelt on. I am, the way that the path that I'm taking to drive, I am not like, I'm on roads where I stop a lot. I'm just letting y'all know, because a lot of people are like, where's your seatbelt? And if a seatbelt wasn't on, your car would be like going ding, 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 ding. You know what I'm saying? So you would hear that if my seatbelt wasn't on. All right. All right. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Let me see these guys. I'm trying to see what's going on with these people around. Okay, so I wanted to read this thing from Tyler Perry. I was being real nosy. I'm trying to read this thing from about Tyler Perry. This is dystopic, also sickening, considering how else this land could have been used to serve people in a city facing an affordable housing and homelessness crisis. I'm truly confused about what we're celebrating here. And then it says, he's black and wealthy, she continues in quotes. That's supposed to be a celebration point? Yeah, no. I'm trying to understand, at what point do we decide that Tyler Perry has made too much money, and now we have to tell him what to do with his money? And if he doesn't do with his money, like, what is the issue that we have with, yeah, you guys are doing the most. What are the issues that you guys have with black wealth? What is the problem? It's like there is a desire, like it's a confusing thing, because there's a desire to appear to be wealthy and be rich by purchasing a lot of material things. But then it's like this person is actually generating wealth. And okay, so then you have the people that say, well, how is he generating the wealth? What is to me, I always feel like, what is he doing that is a detriment to his community as a whole, right? If we're going to take it that way. And there are some people who do not like Tyler Perry because he portrays the type of stories that he tells are having to do with, the trials of black women. And he got his start by imitating a black woman. So there are people who have problems with that. But then at the same time, there are people who are like, he's creating jobs. He is creating, if you do not see that what he's doing, at what point do you say like what he's doing is wrong? And then like, how should we approach it? Like, I'm just so confused as to why we have this hatred of wealth, but want to appear, we take a lot of measures to appear wealthy, whether it's from your material possessions, to the car that you drive, to the handbag that you have. There is a desire to appear wealthy, but then when the person actually attains wealth, now you have a problem with that person, and now that person should be doing something else with their money. And I'm trying to figure out, like, if he is a person who is in entertainment, to me it only makes sense, if you're a director, producer, writer, it only makes sense to create a space where you do not have to deal with any of the hurdles that are in place in the system of Hollywood. You cannot, to me, I feel like with the Tyler Perry Studios opening, we are not exempt or should not be excluded from being creatives, and we should not be excluded from making spaces where Black creators can actually get work, because we live in this country where Hollywood like shuts out and only gives just a little piece to Black people. We're always talking about these organizations that, you know, they don't give awards to Black folks. They don't give awards to colored people. They don't give awards. They don't do this. And here's a man who looks like you, who's created a space where those hurdles are now eliminated, like literally eliminated. And I guess it's just all what's important to you, right? Like, what's important to you, and you feel like Tyler Perry should be spending money on what's important to you, and you feel like what's important to you has a positive effect on your community, and you don't have the means to do it, so you want Tyler Perry to spend his money and do it. Is that what it is? Because somebody please help me figure it out. I really want to understand, because I notice it so often, like with Oprah. You want a Black woman to be successful. Now, as soon as I say Oprah, I know the bells is going off. She's not for us. She doesn't do this. She caters to white women. It's always going to be either or. It's always going to be either or. I don't see anything wrong. Like, Oprah is not, no one is 100%. No one's going to make everybody happy. I always, at the end of the day, you got to look at what impact is the person having, right? What impact? Is there a negative impact? Is a positive impact? Like, I have a critique with Oprah that I don't think it's cool for her to have built a school in Africa. I think Chicago would have been a perfect place to build a school. But you know what she does? She'll turn around and say, you do it. If you want a school built in Chicago, you do it. And everybody's like, well, no. You have the money. You're the one who actually made it. So I want you to come back and build a school in Chicago. And she's telling you, no, I'll build a school wherever the fuck I want to build a school. And I don't like that at all. I feel like she could have built a school in, you know, if she was going to build a school, you're building a school anyway. Why not build it in an area? And, you know, and you have a bunch of stories as it relates to that school or whatever. But at what point do you now you don't like Oprah because she's not talking to you anymore? She's trying to fit. I believe that Oprah and Tyler Perry both have created a lot of openings and opened a lot of doors for Black creatives and people who are on whatever kind of journey that Oprah is leading people on. If you like her, you follow her. I don't think she does not give spaces for Black people. Like with the, you know, you can talk about Monique all you want to, and it's so funny because somebody was talking about how Monique is a Sagittarius and how she went about her situation, and how Evelyn is a Sagittarius and how she's just going about her situation. But anyway, I don't even want to talk about that anymore. But we all have, like, at what point, my question is, at what point, when you see a Black person who is getting notoriety for whatever reason, whatever they're getting their money from, whether it's, you know, media, television, film, acting, directing, you know, the creative arts, whether it's in the medical industry, whatever industry it's in, when you see somebody black at a certain point, at what point do you decide what they're doing with their money, they should be doing with their money what you want them to do with their money? At what point? Like, I just don't get it. And my thing is, like, my response to that was, for people in your community who believe that creative arts are important and people who like to contribute to the arts behind the cameras, do you care about jobs being created? And at what point should he take the money and do what you want with it? That's a legitimate question, because I see it every single time. We talk about it with Jay-Z. Now, with Jay-Z's situation, I believe he's just making wrong choices, because I believe the choices that he's making to do with whatever he wants with his money, we can all have an opinion and say, that's not really having a positive impact on your community. But then you have to ask, does he care about making a positive impact? Does he care about the things that we care about? Do they care? You understand? Like, that's just how it works. And we hate this capitalist society, but we want people to be comfortable and to live comfortably. And then I guess when they get too much money, we have a problem with it. It's just so weird to me, and I don't understand why we do that. So help me out, because Tyler Perry Studios is creating jobs for people, not just actors. That he's actually creating money within. Think about Universal Studios. Think about their lot. Think about the tour that they take people on just to see where different films were made. That's a legitimate business, and that's a man in this country, black man. Like, if that is something that it means a lot to you, that this man, and not only bought a Confederate base, a military base, bought it, took the land, still has so much land to do whatever he wants with it, and that's not only creating jobs for everybody who works there, but now, like, generating in people are going to come to Atlanta, and that's going to be a tourist attraction now. Do you understand that if that is what's important to you, that is a great accomplishment for him? Just as an individual. And I don't think that, just like an individual, what is he doing but creating entertainment? Now, you can have a critique of his entertainment. We can critique the entertainment that's being, what is going on over there? They look like they robbing that place. You could generate, well, I don't know what I was saying. You could generate, they really threw me off, because they looked like they was robbing a place, like the way that they was dressed and everything. But anyways, I'm just saying, I just don't understand when we get to the point where we're like, here's what I want you to do with your money. And if you don't do with your money what I want you to do with your money, now I'm calling you a capitalist. Now I hate you. Now you're not for black people. Like, I'm trying to figure out at what point. And then as people gain wealth, what they care about, things that they care about are not things that you care about anymore. It's a different lens, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole different, idea. So I just don't understand. I don't know. I just don't understand. And I was watching Love and Hip Hop this morning, and it was like 30 minutes. It was very short. I don't know why. That's another show. Like, okay, with the Basketball Wives thing, I'm done with the whole thing of Basketball Wives. I'm not watching it anymore, because I'm not entertained. Like I said yesterday, I can be entertained by conflict. I love watching, humans, how they react in particular situations. I love analyzing that shit, and y'all know that shit. But I'm not going to sit there and allow someone like here's another thing. We're not going to sit here and allow a woman of color to call a black woman, African American woman, using all these adjectives that we all know that are microaggressions. We're not allowing her to get away with it. And the fact that she believes that just because she is Afro-Latina, whatever she wants to be, that she should be allowed to live with these microaggressions toward this dark-skinned black woman. No, we're not allowing that. And you need to sit down. And that's it. You need to sit down. We get on everybody. I don't give a damn who it was. If I were to call OG a monkey, I would hope somebody would say to me, Erica, that's not right. And you know that shit is not right. We are not, no. So I'm done watching the show. I'm not going to watch colorism as a form of entertainment. I'm not going to watch it. We already have a cast of women who look a certain way, and when another cast member comes in who doesn't look like that, is being treated a different way. If you go back and watch my Basketball Wives review from this season, I've probably said on every single episode, I do not like the way that they're treating OG. And it wasn't like, it was very, like I said, microaggressions. The same things that are used, the same adjectives that are used to describe black people in the workplace. Oh, you're too aggressive. You need to settle down. You need to just listen to the feedback someone is giving you about your behavior. That's our perception. All of that shit, I'm not going to sit here and watch that as a form of entertainment. And you have the executive producer who is telling people you're taking it too seriously. Don't invest too much in it. You're getting too emotional behind it. But then you have one of the cast members who is the actual aggressor in all of this, turning around and suing the person that she's being aggressive towards. If that isn't some white woman shit, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And Evelyn, that shit is crazy. So I'm not Shawnee. I'm taking Shawnee's advice. She is a businesswoman, and she has told me, the viewer who watches her television show and reviews her television show, that we are too invested, because it's not like none of those things happen, and it's not like we're watching colorism take place. And you're telling us you don't really understand how it works anyway. So I don't expect you to understand, but y'all are just too invested. So I'm going to take her advice, and I'm not going to invest any of my time into that show. I'm not. And the same goes with Love and Hip Hop. I was trying, Love and Hip Hop is like real sporadic for me. I will include it in other conversations. I won't dedicate a whole, video to it. But what I watched last night, I just don't see any content. Like, I'm like, okay, I mean, like, if they decided to, like, focus on the relationships, like, I would rather see, if they're going to really focus on the relationship, I don't care about Zell and Paris. I don't care about anybody in this show who is not working on music and who is not in a relationship, because that's what the show is about. Now, Ray J and Princess, that's not something that interests me. That is not something that interests me, you fucking asshole. And who else am I not interested on that show? A1 and Lyric are the only ones to me that are carrying the show. They have the show. Every episode is about them. There's not one episode that they haven't been in. But I'm not interested in that show. I'm not. The content is not something that I can analyze the relationship between A1 and Lyrica, because so many people have relationships that look like that, and everybody can sit up here and lie and say they don't know anybody having. Everybody knows somebody who's done some dumb shit. And I look at Lyrica and I listen to her, and I'm listening to her say, every time she starts crying about A1, she says, we have a baby together. We have a baby together. And I could just imagine her really having to process that you had a baby, you introduce a baby to an already unhealthy relationship, and with the idea or maybe the hope that it would change. And like Zell said, A1 is the type of guy who was not getting attention, and now the attention he's getting from these women is just because of, his access to things. And he doesn't care, and he wants to live in a way that is conducive to a man either in an open relationship or a single man. And this girl keeps saying, we have a baby together. And I know, and I could just imagine Lyrica sitting there like, I was with this motherfucker for 8 years and had no kids, and the relationship was toxic, and I could have gotten away. I could have gotten out of it. And now you have a kid with this. You really could have gotten out of that relationship and left with nothing, got a divorce. Now your life is changed, and now you're going to have to make sacrifices that he does not have to make. And your whole life has changed now. And you could have gotten out of it. I'm sure she processes that, but she may have to deal with that for a little while, but hopefully she will forgive herself, because that's how I would have been like, God damn it, I could have gotten out of this goddamn fucked up ass relationship. I could have gotten out of it. No. So just be glad you don't have 2 babies by the nigga, just one, that you just got one, and get out. The advice that they're giving her is trash, telling her to, she's like, I feel numb to it. And Booby's like, okay, well, you start feeling numb, then you need to get up out of it. But then in the next sentence, he tells her, just do it until you can't take it anymore. Who gives someone advice like that? Just be in the relationship until you can't take it anymore. Who wants to be in a relationship holding on for dear life? Who wants to be in a relationship holding on from the goddamn cliff like this until I just have to let go? Child, doesn't nobody want to live like that. The advice that people give people in relationships, I just don't. I hope that girl does not get back with him. I really don't. Amanda Seales. Y'all want to talk about Amanda Seales real quick? Not really her. I mean, over the weekend, Amanda Seales, there was an article written in Madame Noir about Amanda Seales trying to get into a party of a woman who is an executive in Hollywood, and all the insecure people are friends with. It's Black Hollywood, right? And everybody is cool with everybody. But Amanda and this girl have beef. And Amanda felt like if she goes to this party, being that it was a Black Hollywood party, even though it was being hosted by someone she had beef with, that she should have allowed her into the party. And when she got to the party, it sounds like something off of Love and Hip Hop, right? Sounds like something off a reality show. That is the reason why I be telling y'all, things like this happen. Yes, you are watching entertainment and things being cut down from, all this, hours of footage. But things like this really happen, and people have feelings like this, and people express themselves in a way where you're like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? Amanda Seales gets to the party, and they tell her that she cannot get in. You've already had a run-in with this girl. They tell you can't get in, so she attempts to figure out a different way to get in. She gets in, and security takes her out. And now she feels upset that this woman kicked her out, and that her insecure cast members are just like, girl, that's between y'all. That don't have nothing to do with us. You and this woman, y'all know y'all have beef with each other. How do you tell me, y'all? How do you expect to go to a party of someone who is hosting the party that you have beef with, to the point where you say, well, we just don't have to talk, we can just be cordial? Now this is me just paraphrasing the article. You can go in Madame Noir and read it. But who in the hell do you think you are that I have to let you into my party just because this is a Black Hollywood party? And what I said was, at how women fight by attempting to tarnish the social standing of another woman. That's how women fight with each other. And you have to do something to make you look bad by society, whether that's the ability to maintain a partner, whether it's being a mother, or whether it's you're not who you say you are, and I'm gonna put you in your place, playing there a powerful position. To me, I feel like you have to be mindful in a small industry as Black Hollywood is, not to take any shit. Nobody's telling anybody to take any shit, but understanding that when you don't take shit from people, you create hostility between you and another person. You cannot go to someone else's party, and just because it's a Black Hollywood party, and expect to get in. Like, I just don't understand. That's anyway, I don't care where you are. You should not go to somebody else's party that you don't agree, that you don't get along with, and feel entitled to get in just because of the industry. And then, I mean, I don't know how I would feel about, obviously the woman is in a powerful position because nobody else backed Amanda up. They were like, girl, you are on your own, bitch. And and you know, Amanda Seales has been, you know, she's problematic on some of her views. And this is the thing, all of us can have problematic. That's why I'd be like, I can agree and I could disagree, and we can all agree and disagree, and no one is ever going to always agree. Not 100% of people are not going to always agree with you. You know, there's going to be people who don't like you. There's going to be people who have a different perspective. We all have two sets of eyes. One set of eyes. We all have one set of eyes, and we all can be looking at one thing, and all of us see something different. So Amanda has said some things that, and have done some things that, you know, you listen to her, like the things that she said about people buying passports and Jordans. You know, you're spending too much money on Jordans. You should be trying to get a passport. Like that doesn't even make sense. And we know it doesn't make sense. You know, I should get a passport and then do what with it? If you have $150 or however much a fucking pair of Jordans cost, if I take that $150 and go buy a passport, then what, Amanda? Are you gonna pay for the vacation? Are you gonna do that? Like, come on, girl. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, so some of the things that she has said has offended some people. I'm sure things that I've say offend people. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things we say offend people, and some of the shit is problematic. And a lot of us feel like because you have a platform and you have a lot of people watching you, that you should say things and be a little bit more responsible. But if she really feels like that, then what is that? We just got to tell her, like, girl, that doesn't even make sense, and then make it make sense. You know, she accused this guy, Myron Rolle. I guess he was a football player turned neurosurgeon. She tried to shoot her shot with him, and he declined. But then she goes on interviews making assertions and sending out messages that this man is possibly a sexual predator. And it's just like, and when the story unfolds, it turns out that he just rejected her. And she went on a couple of shows, and the way that she framed how she was talking about this guy made it seem like he was somebody that a woman should not trust, like he was a creep. And it just turns out that, you know. And then she said something about women using child support as a form of punishment because the relationship didn't work out. Like, stuff like that. It's not stuff. It's like, it's to say, like, girl, that doesn't even make sense, and here's why. And you can have these views all you want, but the point is us holding her accountable and saying, girl, this is crazy. You sound crazy as hell. You know what I mean? So Amanda Seales, you cannot get into the party, and you cannot tell people that they need to invite you to their party and let you in. And then the audacity of, like, getting in, and then she was mad because nobody came to her defense. Maybe they agree. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe they agree that you need to be on the outside of this party. Maybe so. And that's just the reality. Not everybody is gonna like you. And furthermore, don't go to parties expecting to get in of people who are hosting the party that don't like you. You just can't get in. You're not gonna be able to get in. So what else is going on, y'all? That's all I really have for today. I don't know. The thing with the president, the impeachment thing, I don't know. It's just like whatever. What do y'all think about that? Like I said, it's all a show for me. It's just all a show, and it's like, if you're not gonna do anything to deconstruct the Constitution, if you're not gonna do anything to deconstruct these systems, they're not gonna stop. They're Sicilic. They're gonna keep going. No one is gonna stop them until the systems are destroyed. You cannot expect a change in society without a change in the government. Hello. Look at world history. When changes of government come through, the previous government is destroyed and rebuilt. Now, I'm not saying destroy everything, because there are some things that are, good, but it needs to be picked at. And, in a country where the goal was never to have coppered colored people, the goal was never for those people to be free, whether they were indigenous, whether they were brought here. The goal was never for those people to have any type of freedom. And it was written that way. And until those writings are deconstructed, it's not going to change. And that's the reason I'm just like, this shit is like a soap opera. It's like a television show. If the only requirement to become the president of the United States you only have two things that you have to do, it makes it easier for people like that man to get into a higher office. I've always said it's like putting Gargamel in charge of the Smurfs. Why would you do that? They do, and America has helped other countries do that. With the leaders, they get in bed with these foreign leaders and put them in place, acting like they're coming in to, fix the country, and we're going to put this man in power. They put that person in power and endorse or whatever the word is, to say, oh, we acknowledge that this person is the leader of this country. And you come in and you ruin the country, and then you put somebody in place who is a tyrant, and then the country goes downhill. All because Americans wanted some resources from that country. So they use their military. That's the only thing that makes this country beautiful, is the military. If that is the only thing, because if you look at this country, it is behind in every other industry except for the military. So they use the military to go in, steal resources, create havoc. They don't change anything, over and over and over again. It's not going to stop unless you get somebody who really gives a damn. And you can't trust any of these people. They're untrustworthy. But the person that's in there now should have never. But the system that you had an electoral college. That is a system that is in place. That is what, in addition to the bots and everybody on fucking Facebook, in addition to that, you have a system called the electoral college that allowed that person to be put into office. So has anybody looked at the electoral college and getting rid of it in whatever states? And then if you ask some people, they're like, no, we shouldn't get rid of it. It makes sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. But it's put in place so that things like this can happen. And it looks like it's fair. And it looks like you really had a choice. It looks like you really had a choice. No. I'm cool. I'm so cool. Anyways, I'm out of here. What else are we talking about? That's it. I don't have nothing else to talk about. Yeah, and we're not going to act like, because we was talking about Tammy. Me and Nate was talking about Tammy last night, because he cannot stand Tammy Roman. He says she is a bully bitch. She's bullying women. I think a lot of people stopped fucking with Tammy because of her antics. I've never really been a Tammy, fan, but I think that I have seen growth in her, and I don't see the growth in the other woman. That's just as bad as a bully. We don't let them. I don't think anybody let her slide when she was bullying that girl, taking that girl's purse, and just the things that she was doing. It was just really bad, but it was weird. But she's no different, and I think a lot of people held her accountable. I think it's audacious but it's just like typical, like, how dare you hold me accountable? That's what she's really upset about. You have somebody call you out on colorism. We're calling you out. We're calling you out. And I'm, let me go this way. I'm like, okay, we're calling you out. There's nothing wrong with being called out. You're being held accountable. Instead of being like, well, no, I'm Afro-Latina. I can call you guys niggers, and I can call a black woman a monkey. I'm Afro-Latina. No, it doesn't work like that. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you the blackest of black. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't give a damn if you're the head of the NAACP, bitch. If you call a black woman a monkey or fucking Godzilla and start analyzing her body parts, no, bitch, that's not happening. It's not. It's just not happening. I don't give a fuck who it is. We're not doing that. We're not letting you get away with that. And we're calling you out. And as a result, if you lose endorsements, if you lose support, that's the consequence. That's what I was telling y'all the other day. Let people say nigga all they want to. There's no reason for anybody to be outraged in a country that was built on racism to believe that, oh my God, she called me a nigger. One day she would have. One day she would have. This is the country that we live in. The only thing at the end of the day, let Evelyn say what the F she wants to say. At the end of the day, there's consequences. If she is losing endorsements, you don't sue nobody for the shit that came out of your goddamn mouth. You called that woman Ling Ling. You said she gave happy endings. Malaysia came and backed you up and supported. Who is Ling Ling? The nail shop girl. You need to shut your ass up, Malaysia. LaQuisha, you need to shut your ass up. I done got mad out here. But I'm just saying, I didn't get mad, but I'm just like, you were going to hold you accountable, bitch. You can't get away with that shit. And if you're losing support because of it, well, that serves you right. Period. Your ego served you, and now your behavior is serving you. There's natural consequences for that, and we're not living in a place where we're gonna allow the Latin girl with that speaks with an accent and uses AAVE. We're not gonna allow you to get away with that shit. This is not 1994, bitch. Not. This is 2020, and we're not doing that anymore. And you will be held accountable. And if you lose, and this should be a message, honestly, this should be a message for people, Afro-Latino or not, black or not. You do some anti-black shit, whether you black or not, you will be held accountable for it, period. Period. And that's just what it is. So I'm out of here, y'all. I done ran my mouth for 46 minutes. Oh, no, I went to the gas station. I always mess up. I went to the gas station, right? All right. Well, I'm out of here. Y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Keep each other honest. Support, uplift, and encourage each other. Peace.